Right now, the culture is obsessed with velocity, volume, being lean, massive output, automation times 1,000, speed, scale, and efficiency. It's all useful. But if those become the only values, we lose the human operating system underneath. Because faster output does not automatically mean better direction. More content does not automatically mean more clarity. Lean does not automatically mean more sustainable. Automation does not automatically mean better alignment. AI can increase output, but it cannot replace discernment, lived experience, emotional intelligence, wisdom, presence, taste, care, or the cost of what the output requires from your life. When a buyer asks AI for a solution like yours, does your business come up? Most companies have no idea. And by the time they find out, they've already lost the deal to someone who did. HubSpot's AEO helps you show up in those moments with the right answers buyers are looking for. Before the first click, before the first form fill, that's the moment HubSpot's AEO is built for. Check out HubSpot.com, the agentic customer platform for growing businesses. That is the missing conversation in all of it. And this is where I think my S3 comes into place. Where you want to strategize, deciding what matters before you're sprinting, before you hit go, before you try to grow. Then you want to synergize the aligned work, your life, tools, energy, family, and timing, all of it into a infrastructure that feels obtainable without massive loss. And then systemizing, which is creating the repeatable rhythms that support growth without requiring constant sacrifice. And this is where I ask you to consider these three things. When you think of the strategy part of it, what actually matters today? This is where you start separating the signal from all of the noise. What matters most? What protects money? What protects family? What protects health? What needs to be released? And if it's needed, what is the right sprint? Sit with that. Answer those questions first. Then we're going to lean into the synergy. How does it all work together? This is where you align the tools and the human realities. This is where you align AI with your life, with everything. Where does it go? How does it belong? How do I make what I'm doing repeatable without burning out? Who needs to be communicated with? Is this sprint sustainable? How are my mornings going? How are my evenings going? Where am I at in all of this? Then we need to go to systemizing. How do I then take what we have, build the rhythms, review the loops, data recovery, and make this really go? What patterns am I seeing? What keeps creating friction? What routine helped? What routine didn't help? What should be automated? What should I take back from automation to me doing it manually? Ooh, big one. And what should become a repeatable workflow? And with all that being said, we still need to acknowledge the elephant in the room. That sacrifice is not the strategy. Sacrifice is a temporary cost paid for a clearly defined purpose. So, if you're sacrificing and doing these sprints, let's not let our sacrifice be the default just for survival, just for success. Let's not fall into mirage.
What's up, digital world? You're listening to the I Digress audio experience with Troy Sandidge. Social media, marketing, storytelling, business, culture, and more. Coming to you in 3, 2, 1.
The future is not just about who can produce the most with AI. The future belongs to people who can combine speed with discernment, automation with awareness, and output with humanity. This is where S3 matters. Strategize before you accelerate. Synergize before you scale. Systemize before you sprint forever. The infinity loop. Because velocity in the wrong direction is just burnout with better branding. I'm going to just say that again. Velocity in the wrong direction is just burnout with better branding. Oh my gosh, hustle culture never went away. It's just got a new face. It's under Claude AI, it's under ChatGPT AI, it's Perplexity. It's all of them. The Gemini, the Groks, all of them. We're in this weird phase where we just think we can just go, 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 go. Even with the agents, even with all these integrations, it's just spreading you further thin under the guise that you're going to do so much more. Are you trained to fix when it's broken? Engineer all of them together? Do you have the capital to pay to have someone fix it 24/7? Yes, the upfrontness of the opportunity feels very amazing, but no one talks about the management and the back end and the optimization for it when it happens. Ooh, you now have all these new employees as agentic and it's growth. Not saying it's not good. Please do it, embrace it. It will help you grow. But while you're building, make sure you have the awareness of the automations and the discernment for speed, that you have the life capacity to handle the growth capacity. Because we don't want you to grow, get burned out, and now word's out that you're not able to deliver. You lose the business, people talk, and you're burned all the way through. We don't want that. To strategize, choose the right actions. To synergize, align tools, time, energy, and your life. To systemize, build repeatable loops that reveal patterns and support real growth at your pace that doesn't take you away from living your life. The goal is not to become more machine like. The goal is to become more intentionally human while using machines wisely. Strategize the signal, synergize the system, and systemize the rhythm. Create Like the Greats, hosted by Ross Simmons, is brought to you by the HubSpot Podcast Network, the audio destination for business professionals. Each episode hosts an in-depth analysis of some of the greatest creations and creators of all time, along with deep dive conversations on the creative process that went into building companies, brands, stories, and so much more. Ross takes listeners on a journey to explore the different sides of entrepreneurship, how he's growing his global marketing agency, building software, raising a family, and juggling everything in between. Listen to Create Like the Greats wherever you get your podcasts. And again, this is not being anti-tech. This is not anti-AI. This is not anti-hustle. This is not anti-sacrifice. This is anti-default sacrifice. This is anti-permanent sprint. This is anti-output without awareness. This is anti-growth that makes you disappear from your very own life. Hustle culture keeps coming back because the mask changes. First, it was grind culture, then productivity culture, then creator economy culture, then lean startup culture. Now it's AI automation culture. Different mask, same dang Terminator. Do more, move faster, sleep less, automate everything, scale everything, be everywhere, post more, build more, optimize more. But the body keeps the score. The family keeps the score. The nervous system keeps the score. The calendar keeps the score, keeps the record. And eventually the systems ask, for what? For whom? At what cost? For how long? And is this even the right way? And that last one is the curveball. Just because a method works does not mean it should become your forever method. This is why we need to understand our states. People worship flow state like it's the whole game. But flow is only one zone. I've been embracing this 5 operating states mode: the capture state, the clarity state, the commitment state, the flow state, and then the reflection state. Flow is not the only productive state. Sometimes the most productive thing to do is capturing the signal. Sometimes it's getting clarity. Sometimes it's committing to the right thing in the right time. And yeah, sometimes it is sprinting. Other times it's reflecting, recovering, resting, learning. This is the antidote to always be in sprint mode. And I'm going to say this on my closing, and it may shake a few people, and it shook me too. And I hope it does. Baseline does not mean dead. It's a line. Baseline means your system is regulated enough to operate without panic as fuel. A calm season is not a wasted life. Tranquility is not laziness. Recovery is not regression. Stillness is not failure. I'll say that again. Stillness is not failure. If you always need a bear chasing you to move, eventually your body treats email, inboxes, meeting, accountability, strategies, systems, output, whatever, like predators. Funny because it's ridiculous, painfully real because it's true. Your body does not always know the difference between actual danger and my inbox has 237 unread messages and someone needs a response by noon. That's the part people feel instantly. This is why, even with AI, if you don't have the infrastructure to protect your life, as you grow, as you evolve, as you transition in these seasons, you will not sustain yourself, let alone the sustainability of your business, your ideation, and your goals. The goal is not to reject technology, not to reject AI, not to reject ambition, sacrifice, or speed. The goal is to stop treating them as default operating conditions. Sacrifice has a place. Sprinting has a place. Hustle has a place. AI has a place, but not forever and not for everything. You cannot keep the system at 11 at all times and call that a strategy. At some point, you need to return to baseline, and that's okay. But we have been conditioned to believe baseline means we are not doing enough. Baseline does not mean you are dead. A season of calm is not a lack of ambition. It may be the exact thing that you need that allows ambition to become sustainable and scalable. And again, flow state gets all the attention, gets all the glory, but flow is only one operating system, one operating state. Capture, clarify, commit, reflect, all those states matter too. Without them, if you do engage in sprinting, it becomes frantic, not focused. And in a world obsessed with AI, automation, speed, velocity, and volume, we have to ask better questions. What are we doing? What are we actually producing? What is the actual goal? Why are we producing it? Who is it for? What is it costing us? Both literally, metaphorically, all of them. Is this the right thing to do? Is there a better how? Is this the right how? And does this system help us grow? Or does it make us disappear under the impression of growth? Technology can support growth, but it cannot replace awareness. Again, AI can help us move faster, but it cannot decide what should matter. I acknowledge and I encourage and I challenge you to look at how you're growing differently and making sure that growth doesn't cost you everything just to get it. The honest truth and the reality is that sometimes the best thing to do is to sit in the stillness until you have clarity on what you actually need to do. Many times people need help in that area, and I help people with that. As I am being a practitioner of my own advice to be and embrace the stillness to get to the baseline. Because sometimes we do need to just get to baseline and reset. Growth isn't always up, 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 up. Growth is maintaining what you have with a good experience that you could enjoy. Both things can be true at the same time. It shouldn't be one or the other. And if you've always been a default of growth at the sacrifice of your happiness, is it worth it? Is it necessary? Even with AI, it's just you trying to convince yourself this is okay behavior. This is the best operating system that I know to grow, and for what purpose? What good is achieving these things if you have no one to celebrate it with? We're all seeking community. We're all seeking support. We're all seeking validation and peace and tranquility. We can have that as we grow. We don't need to sacrifice it to grow.
And that's a wrap. We hope you enjoyed this episode of I Digress. What was your takeaway? Care to share your thoughts and tag Troy on social media? You can find him on all platforms at Find Troy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review or comment for this episode from wherever you're listening. Looking for a marketing strategist to build the structure, strategies, and systems you need to get the success you want and the ROI you desire in your business? Book a discovery call to talk with Troy at findtroy.com. And as Troy's philosophy goes, imagination is the engine, content is the fuel, social media is the highway, marketing is the roadmap, sales is the destination, culture is the GPS. Thanks for listening.